Hi there, I'm Ken Lammers, and let's talk about minor league matters. In particular, let's talk about my trip this weekend to Asheville to watch the Asheville tourists on their Bull Durham bobblehead day. It was a Bull Durham day period all around. And now let's be clear, Asheville is an hour and a half to 2 hours, more like 2 hour drive from where I live. So it's a little bit of a drive, and I have a reason to do it, an incentive. And I had planned on going on Saturday night to a local, real low level PDL soccer game, right? But then I checked Asheville's times and what they were doing, and Saturday night was Bull Durham night or Crash Davis night. And so I decided to head out because they were giving away a Crash Davis bobblehead. And I'm glad I did because it was a blast. Okay, now let's be clear. Asheville's always an interesting place to be. I got there about 2:30 or 3 about 2:30 for a game that was supposed to start at 6, right? And thought that I could get a hotel room and be fine. The cheapest hotel room I got quoted to me, and this was at a very, very budget hotel, was $250 at the day's inn, right? I wasn't staying overnight. So then I had to find some way to kill some time, and I found the local putt-putt place slash batting cage and went and hit balls at the batting cage for an hour for the first time in about 30 some odd years and awoke in pain for the next 3 days. But that's another story. Uh, After that, went off to the baseball game itself. Got there about an hour and a half early and parked my car way up the top of the hill where they had parking. The parking they had down below now seems to be gone. Well, not seems to be, it's gone now. So, very little parking as per normal at Asheville. But I parked up on the top, and which makes it easy to walk down to the stadium. But the walk back up for a short round guy is not fun. Anyway, I leave my car, and of course, because it's Asheville, as I'm walking down towards the stadium, three people who were hiring a kite walk past me, and one of them goes, "Who you got a room for?" And I'm like, "Asheville, of course." And he's like, "Hey, Asheville." Yeah, him and his buddy and the girl was with him, all just kind of, "Yay, Asheville," and keep walking along, stoned out of their gourd. It is Asheville, right? So I get down to the game, get in, I get my Crash Davis bobblehead, and I hadn't realized how much they were going to go with this, right? Yeah, I knew they were going to use different uniforms. Actually, they went back to the old uniform, which is a heck of a lot better looking than the new thing. With not the aquamarine, aqua green, whatever aqua blue colors they use now, the pastels. They had, red, white, and blue, were their colors before, and they worked really well. And it's a shame they don't use those colors anymore. I realize it would cost them an arm and a leg to switch back because now they've made the whole stadium in the colors of the current colors, but they could do well to do it eventually. Anyway, I get in there, and as you can see here at the top right, they're giving away that day's magazine for the day is actually the front of it is a mocked up cover of Sporting News saying that Crash Davis has broken the minor league home run record at 247, right? If you recall from the movie, Annie says at the end that when he did it, she knew he'd done it, but it never got mentioned by the Sporting News. Well, it has been now. Unfortunately, since the Sporting News no longer exists, it's too late for the actual magazine to do it. But there you have it. Right on top, right here is their mock-up as part of their program with Crash Davis on the front. On the top left here, you're going to see the bobblehead and Crash Davis bobblehead, which is pretty cool. And then you get in, and they're playing the game, and the guy who is catching for them is wearing Davis on the number and 16 and Davis written across the top, and they're announcing him throughout the entire game when they announced the lineup and everything as Crash Davis. And when he came to bat, they announced him as Crash Davis. And the poor guy, everybody in the crowd was yelling, "Go Crash, Crash, go Crash." Um, you know, first thing he did was hit a double, which was pretty doggone good and very Crash-like. Thereafter, he got hit by a ball and struck out and had a dinker that really should have made it to past the third or past shortstop. Shortstop made an amazing catch to stop it. So he batted, 1 for 4, 250 ERA, or if you're doing on base percentage, he made it 2 for 4, 500. Not bad, but still, I kind of felt sorry for the guy because he wouldn't get credit for himself. Everybody in the stands calling him Crash Davis. All in all, and then, of course, because at 9:30 when the game ended, I had to get back in my car and drive all the way back to Virginia, 2 hours, which was a joyous drive over the mountains. But it was worth it. It was worth being there for the game. It was worth seeing what was there. It was worth seeing what they did. You see so many stadiums that do the same thing over and over and over again. Fireworks, God bless how much they show fireworks. I try to get out of the stadium before they even start them, but most of the time you can't make it before they're just shooting them off right in your face. And, yes, it's good to have, Star Wars night and Scouts night and all this sort of stuff, but those aren't really draws for me. And they're probably good draws for people who are local, but they're just not for guys like me. So I don't really pay too much attention to those. But you do something unusual like this, and you will draw me in. I look for the unusual ones. This obviously every year I try to go to the milking contest at the Elizabethton Twins. Anything that's really kind of unusual is worth going to see and experience. That said, it is the 30th year for Bull Durham, so expect to see more and more stuff. I mean, 30 years after the movie came out, I understand that the Burlington Royals are going to do something because their stadium was used as part of the filming, apparently, and that I'm sure that if you go to Durham, North Carolina this year, you're just going to be overwhelmed with Bull Durham stuff, right? Particularly if you go to the ballpark, which already overwhelms you with Bull Durham stuff. It'll probably be 3 times as much, right? I would do it, and if I can get to Durham, I will do it. And I suggest all of y'all do it because it should be fun. Anyway, having said all that, I'm going to wrap it up here today. If you like this, hit subscribe, hit like. And if you like it all the stuff, or you like this one a whole lot, hit subscribe. And, if you want to contact me, at LammersK on Twitter, do a direct message. And beyond that, I really just got one thing to say. If you got a little bit of extra time and you got a little bit of extra money, go watch some minor league sports. Y'all have a good week now.